The battle between Saitama and Tatsumaki has finally reached its climactic end. We've laughed, we've cried, we've witnessed billions of yen worth of property destruction. Now, I may just be a humble YouTuber for fun, but if you'll indulge me, I'd like to share some thoughts on...
Saitama!
そうか。
I honestly went into this chapter expecting the headline to be about how Tatsumaki, finally witnessing the true nature of Saitama, would have a complete change of heart and become a better person. Maybe start volunteering at a soup kitchen or something? But I was pleasantly surprised to see that the far, far bigger takeaway was just how much of this chapter showed the progress that Saitama himself has made as a character. On its face, Saitama's rise through the ranks of the Hero Association is, of course, tied to the rest of society slowly, gradually recognizing him for his amazing physical feats. But from a character perspective, the promotions also track nicely to his evolution, both as a human being and towards becoming the ideal hero. For example, his promotion into B class came after sacrificing his reputation for the sake of the other heroes defeated by the Deep Sea King. And most recently, his promotion into A class follows him reluctantly hosting a hot pot dinner, befriending an actual monster, and showing us how deeply affected he was by the death of Genos. We don't know when or how he'll get his next promotion, but let's take a closer look at where he is along his journey in this chapter. Well, for starters, he shows not just kindness, but tremendous patience to Tatsumaki. And if we're being honest, she's one of the most unsympathetic and stubborn people he's ever encountered. I don't know, if someone called me an avocado or light bulb, I don't think I'd ever recover. So I'm going to chalk this one up to impressive personal growth. Let's not forget that Saitama started off this fight literally calling her stupid. Next, he willingly gives compassionate advice on how to become a better hero. Don't destroy people's houses. Pretty good advice. This is also quite the change. Remember, it was only 2 months ago that Saitama believed that he had nothing to teach Genos, and he's constantly insisting that he has no desire to take on any more disciples. And maybe most astonishingly of all, he vigorously defends the value of personal relationships. Again, we can't help but be surprised. As crazy as it sounds, it was only a week ago that he practically had a nervous breakdown over people inviting themselves to his house for dinner. So, what's going on here? What explains this dramatic change? Well, I think it's summed up very well by this line right here. The power of Fubuki's mere acquaintance. The reason he's here, the reason he's doing any of this, is all due to the people who have come into his life and have had a profound impact. Ultimately, at its core, One Punch Man is the story of Saitama gradually learning that friendship and love is the true source of strength. Not just punching holes in giant fish people. And for Tatsumaki, this is a very powerful message. The idea that other people can be a source of strength sets up the perfect counterpoint to her experience with Blast, who has famously said, "When the time comes, don't go expecting someone to come save you." Essentially, the only adult she's ever respected and trusted taught her to be very wary of personal attachments. And now, with Saitama demonstrating an alternative way to approach life, while at the same time representing everything that Blast once meant to her, strength, stability, safety, compassion, the immediate effect on Tatsumaki is small, yes, but extremely significant. She lets the Fubuki group off the hook, and even her sister is shocked by this about-face. There's no doubt that Saitama has a long way to go in his character development, but it's amazing to see his continuous growth and the profound effect this has on everyone he encounters. And that's why that was the best character moment of chapter 182. This is my first video and I still don't really know what I'm supposed to be doing with my hands.
Honorable mentions! Tatsumaki!
The backstory of her being an innocent child that was abused and traumatized, and the enduring impact it's had on her life is really tragic and heartbreaking. It really sheds new light on everything we know about who she is and why she behaves the way she does. In particular, I really liked the reveal that it was Tatsumaki's own actions that awakened Fubuki's psychic powers. And knowing the danger that psychics face from people who would seek to exploit them, it was the guilt of forcing Fubuki into this world that had ultimately made Tatsumaki so overprotective.
Fubuki!
Turning against her own team and blasting them with psychic bad vibes is certainly something we've never seen before. It's an unconventional leadership style if your goal is to motivate others, but ultimately, I gotta respect her moxie. Imagine being a member of the Fubuki group and being attacked by 3 different psychic beings in the span of, like, an hour. Poor bastards. Hi everyone, thank you so much for watching. If you followed me from the One Punch Man subreddit community, I just want to say thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it. And if you're new to this weird thing that I've started doing, basically this is just a series I've started to put together, looking to explore and celebrate some of the great bits of writing we get from One. Much more to come. Cheers!